Hey up everybody, and welcome back to the Audi Cycling YouTube channel, where today we're going to be having a look at my team on the second rest day, or I suppose it's the third rest day, but you know what I mean. We're going into the final week now of the Giro d'Italia, the hardest week of the race. I haven't actually really looked at my team the last few days. I reckon it's probably gone down in the standings from the first week, but we're going to take a look at my team, some of the leaderboards and stuff, just to see what the state of play is at the moment. So, taking a look at my team, it's not actually as bad as I thought. We're dropped to like 2,000. I think we were about the 1,000 mark at the end on the last video. We've gone up in the stage race championship to 78th. I think that we were hovering around 90th, maybe 100th in the stage race championship. So this week, I mean, things that have gone well, I guess, Groves got that second place, Bardet finishing fourth yesterday, Pedersen getting his stage win, Pidcock slowly creeping up towards kind of where I want him to be. Fortunato's just pretty much just gaining those KOM points day on day on day, but we haven't had a lot of breakaways, which I think is, in hindsight, a crux of my team, a problem of my team, is that I banked quite a lot on the breakaways with Bardet, Fortunato, Pauls and Pidcock, whereas actually there have been very little breakaway victories. We've had, Asgreen won the stage which Groves came second, Asgreen won, so technically that's one breakaway victory, but those sort of large breakaway victories, the only one we really had was when Plapp won, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we just haven't had those breakaway stages. It's either been a sprint or a GC day pretty much. And I think, going into this final week, I'm a little bit nervous about I'm very nervous about Roglic. He's dropped to 10th place. Who knows what he's going to be like? I doubt he'll hit his 100 points per credit. He'd be pretty lucky, I think. Hopefully he can hit at least 50, so like 1,200 points. Tiberi had that crash, but honestly he was looking quite good up until then. He was sitting in third in GC, and I think without that crash I'd feel a lot more confident. I think Tiberi may well still get 100 points per credit. Fortunato and Bardet and Pauls, I still need breakaways to be going. I just don't see it happening in the last week with the amount of mountain top finishes. Groves still has 2 stages left to go, 2 sprints that is, I think. There's like stage 18 or 19, something like that. There is a sprint. It might be a breakaway day, but I reckon a sprint is possible. Groves is going to need to finish pretty much top 3 in both of those sprints to get 1,000 points. Pedersen's doing great. Tarling, I don't expect to do that much else, but this is sort of where I expected him to be anyway. And yeah, Pauls, it's a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, I needed that breakaway to go. The one where Fortunato and Pauls were in there, and then UAE chased it back, and Carapaz won. I really needed that one to go. That would have been really good for my score. But anyway, let's take a look at some of the rider standings. Obviously, Pedersen. Actually, the first rider to get over 100 points per credit was Del Toro, funnily enough. He got 1,000 points, and then pretty much on the same stage we had Pedersen and Alois both getting 100 points per credit, so all of these really good value for money riders. And yeah, pretty much you needed Pedersen and you need Del Toro to be doing well right now. I think you probably also will be pretty happy if you've got Carapaz in your team. He was 12 credits and he's on pretty much 900 points, and he's looking super strong going into this last week. I disregarded the climbers, I think probably a bit too much. I mean, Simon Yates as well is another example. It's 12 credits, yes, he's got a bit of making up to do compared to Carapaz, but he's looking really good as well, I would say, going into this final week. And Bernal as well. I mean, I just thought that the TT would really hamper them a lot more. Caruso I should have gone with, instead of Bardet. Although Bardet, to be fair, I mean, he's risen up a little bit to 300 odd points, but yeah, Caruso should have gone with my gut feeling. Pidcock's actually doing okay, I suppose, in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, I think just in general, the fact that I could have gone with Del Toro instead of Groves, like if I swapped Pedersen to my sprinter slot and then had a Del Toro in the wildcard slot, this would be a great team, and then Caruso. But it's all hindsight, hindsight's 2020. But that's in theory what would be a very good team right now. You know, and then maybe not having or maybe not even having like Carapaz in there. Oh, sorry, not having Roglic in, going with a user and then having Carapaz over Bardet. That would have been very bold, so I probably wouldn't have done that. But other riders of note, I mean, Dan Hole obviously got his stage win in the TT. I didn't really consider him that much for this race. Verona as well, obviously. Very low selected, but he got his stage win. You're generally seeing these 6 credit riders like Plapp, Verona and Hola, like they're not at 100 points per credit yet, so the 6 credit riders not quite living up to the hype that I was putting on them. Arrieta actually could still be a good choice just because of the assist points in that one stage he was in the break. There's Asgreen as well. So yeah, these 6 credit riders and Prodom, given the lack of breakaways I expect to go in this last week, I'm not sure the 6 credit riders will be overly worth it, so going with somebody like, you know, Tarling just to get those 400 odd points wasn't actually that bad of a move. But maybe I should have gone with one of these guys over, like Plapp, over Poles, possibly. I might have decided to do that. But yeah, by and large, going into this final week, I mean, Ayuso's looking pretty set to probably get, like a podium place. Del Toro obviously is going to be insane. He'll be one of the best value for money riders of this whole season, I expect. Let's take a look at the sort of main leaderboard, see who's winning. So we've got Ayuso, Del Toro, Carapaz, Ciccone, who's obviously out now. But, I mean, he's got more points than Groves. So Groves could still fall short of a guy who's not even in the race. Pedersen, Pidcock, Arrieta, Asgreen, and Coy. Wow. I mean, obviously, again, it goes to show that I don't think the 2 sprinter strategy was the correct call in this race, because even this team would be doing better if instead of Coy, they would have Simon Yates or Bernal in here. I know there's still 2 sprint stages to go, but the GC riders have like 4 stages probably to fight it out on, at least 3 or 4. So they'll probably overtake Coy. So I think in this race, I think we've all been, or I don't want to say all of us, there are probably some people among us who didn't, but the 2 sprinter strategy I don't think was the way to go in this race. I think that I'm going to fall a little bit in the last week just because of Roglic and Tiberi, and Pidcock, you know, being my main GC guys, just aren't really there. Hopefully the rest day gives them a chance to improve. But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's okay. So long as I stay in the top 100 in the race stage race championship, I'd be pretty happy with this as a result. We'll take a look at the Audi Cycling League as well, just to give some congratulations. Yeah, Dirty Dogs still leads the way ahead of the Utrecht Heroes and the Banana Seat Banditos. I love that. That's a cool name. Like that. So obviously we saw this team last time. Still a very good team. Obviously the Del Toro pick coming in pretty big. Bernal as well. Yeah, you got a decent grounding there. The Utrecht Heroes also with Del Toro, Roglic, Stora. Yeah, Stora I was expecting to do a lot better actually, but some solid picks in the unclassified riders as well. They went for 2 sprinter strategy as well. And then the Banana Seat Banditos, again with Del Toro and Ayuso. No Roglic, so this team might actually do a bit better, although they have lost Ciccone, again with a 2 sprinter strategy. So yeah, I'd be interested to hear who out there went with a 2 sprinter strategy, and are we all learning a bit of a lesson here, perhaps ahead of the Tour de France, that going with only of a 1 sprinter might be worthwhile, unless the sprinter's cheap, in which case it is sometimes worth it. But let me know what you're thinking in the comment section down below. How's your team doing after the end of the second week, going into the final week? What sort of things are you expecting from your team? Do you think you're going to go up or down? And yeah, put it all in the comment section down below. And all that is left to say is to stay safe out there, and I will see you at the end of the Giro tally, where I'll do another one of these. Salut.